Hey everybody, Jackson Larkin here from Purser Wellness. Just jumping on to give a little bit of an update on where we're at with things. Purser Wellness and physiciandesign.com. Yeah, physician design products. That's our supplement line. So yeah, just wanted to jump on and chit chat a little bit with everyone on here. Uh, we'll give it a minute, see if anyone comes jumping on. Yeah. Well, today I wanted to talk about one of our coolest products. Really, it's one of our first products, and but it's also one of the most beneficial and one of the most important products that you will ever use, and that is glutathione, Vars glutathione specifically. I just got off of a very interesting call with Dr. Purser this morning, and yeah, for those jumping in, it's just me this morning, just Jackson. I'm one of our Purser Wellness coaches, and I'm here just giving a little update on where we're at with things and hopefully get a little chit chat going with people. So yeah, so if you have any comments or any questions, comment them and I'll try to get to them. But yeah, today I want to talk a little bit about glutathione. Yeah, again, Dr. Purser and I just had a very interesting conversation talking about glutathione and talking about what he's doing currently. And he's been hard at work writing several books, hopefully soon to be number one books, but books that he wants to come out with this year around the topic of glutathione and homocysteine, as well as we recorded a really good video about it. I won't give it away yet, but some thyroid issues or Hashimoto's issues, but just the real benefits of glutathione. And so today, I wanted to touch a little bit on those, and just the big effects of high homocysteine and glutathione. Now, you may have heard Dr. Purser and I talk about glutathione and the homocysteine and a fixed homocysteine level. And that's kind of what I wanted to touch on today. What is a fixed homocysteine level? When Dr. Purser talks about this, he's talking about people that have a genetic propensity for a high homocysteine. And the number one thing that he always talks about that we really need to always make sure to hit on is what does a high homocysteine level actually do? And so the way he explains it is that it affects you indirectly by increasing cytokines. Now, cytokines are important molecules. They're pro-inflammatory molecules that our body uses to get rid of old things, senescent cells, or a better way to think about it is every single one of our cells has its own lifespan, and eventually it uses up its resources and becomes less efficient at what it's meant and programmed to do, and eventually it dies. And so cytokines are one of those pathways that our body uses to signal apoptosis or cellular death in senescent cells, meaning a bunch of cytokines flood into a certain area and cause those cells to undergo a major inflammatory event, causing them to die. And this is the way that our body recycles things and is able to recover resources from this and get rid of and make new cells and continually regenerate itself. And so homocysteine causes this production of cytokines, IL-8 and MCP1 specifically. And so with these cytokines, they cause inflammation widespread throughout the body. And so when Dr. Purser talks about a fixed homocysteine level, he means that you have genetic SNPs such as MTHFR, CBS, BHMT, SHMT. There's 22 different SNPs that he likes to look at on our genetic testing. And if you're homozygous in any of these, you're going to have high homocysteine levels, and therefore you're going to have high cytokine levels. And this is the root cause of inflammation. This is what's causing widespread inflammation and pain throughout your body and eventually into your organs, such as getting into kidney failure and liver failure. These cytokines are what we need to be watching out for. And so the other major thing that happens is we have this increase in cytokines because there's an overproduction of homocysteine, but then the problem is on the back end, there's a lack of production of glutathione, the master antioxidant. And so you have this double-edged sword essentially, where we have and not enough antioxidants, not enough glutathione, not enough SOD to help counteract the inflammation caused by these cytokines. So this is what Dr. Purser's paradigm shift is on dealing with homocysteine and dealing with true root cause inflammation. And so glutathione is the molecule that our body uses to detox, that it uses to remove heavy metals, that it uses to protect cells at every level and to boost our own immune system to create energy. Glutathione is just this amazing molecule that does everything. And we're continually finding out and discovering just how important it is for all of these processes. And so, especially when we're trying to deal with homocysteine. Let me see. I'm going to make sure that I'm not missing comments or anything because I know this it gets complicated real quick. Um, Yeah, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jackson Larkin, and I'm one of our newest Purser Wellness coaches. I'm not new to Purser Wellness, not new to Dan Purser MD, but I've recently taken on the role of working with some of our patients and working with some of our clients, going over custom nutrient plans and looking over genetics and their CMA results and helping them along their pathways of health optimization, wellness optimization. That's what we're really doing. And so there's a couple of us coaches now that work alongside Dr. Purser, but we are practicing right under him. We are following all of his instructions on how to deal with these different patients and these different deficiencies. And so again, coming back to it, glutathione is one of the things that we see constantly on people's genetic reports as well as on their CMA results. Eh, We're just deficient in it. And all of us lose the ability to make sufficient levels of glutathione as time goes on. All of us um, just are deficient in glutathione. So I'm making sure we're live on all the different platforms. So I see a comment from Karen there. Thank you for mentioning that you love our glutathione. I love our glutathione too. I think it's quite fantastic. And we have our liquid version of VAR's glutathione back in stock, as well as our capsule versions. Now, why is it important that we have a liquid version and a capsule version of glutathione? This is part of what Dr. Person and I discussed earlier today, and you'll have to watch for that video recording coming out very soon. We get into some pretty cool things. But the main issue is most people or most companies that sell glutathione products haven't handled that glutathione correctly and properly. And most people just don't know about this. They don't realize that it's an antioxidant and it's very reactive to oxygen, even just in the air or as well as the dissolved oxygen in water. And so reduced glutathione products aren't actually reduced. This is what it really comes down to. And so our body does its best to take the oxidized glutathione, GSSG, and either try to turn it back into GSH or break it down into its amino acid constituents, and then just to recreate glutathione down the line. But if you have genetic errors that you can't create and synthesize glutathione at sufficient levels, if you have any issues with homocysteine, especially causing problems in the transsulfuration pathway, you're not going to be able to make enough glutathione. So take all the non-reduced glutathione you want, but it's really no better than just taking NAC, glycine, and glutamic acid, those three amino acids that make glutathione. You're better off probably just taking NAC anyway. But that's where VAR's glutathione is different. This is where Dr. Purser spent 10 years in development of how to make actually functional reduced glutathione. And so if you were on earlier listening about homocysteine and the cause of inflammation from cytokines and all that, studies have shown that glutathione specifically, reduced glutathione, reduces the levels of cytokines in our body, therefore causes a huge decrease in inflammation. Real quick, Tessa asked, "Does it help to take NAC as well or glutathione alone?" Great question. This is a big thing people ask often. And for many cases, you're going to need both. NAC isn't just used to make glutathione. It's one of its main things that it does, but cysteine is used for many other processes. So if you have a intracellular deficiency of NAC, then you're going to need to take NAC as well as glutathione. If you have the SNPs around MTHFR, around homocysteine that we talk about, you're always going to need glutathione. There may be special use cases that you'll also need NAC as well. So that's why we recommend getting our testing, guide you, help you answer that. Now back to why glutathione in a liquid and a capsule version. And you may have seen older content from us, from Dr. Purser, talking about all capsule and dry powder forms of glutathione just being garbage. Uh, Garbage meaning that it's no better than just taking NAC. It doesn't increase the levels that you do. But like with our liquid glutathione, both our dry powder capsule and our liquid are liposomal glutathione. Now, liposomes are another very important reason, a very important part and step of what we're doing to protect our reduced glutathione, as well as provide better absorption in our bodies. And so our liquid glutathione, those liposomes adhere directly in the mucosa of your mouth and open up, and you absorb it really, really quickly. And it gets right in your bloodstream directly from your mouth. And that causes you to have a quick flood of reduced glutathione into your body. And guess what? Your body really likes that. Whether it starts using it for detox processes or energy production, everyone's a little bit different, and depending on what you're dealing with at any given moment. But that glutathione goes to work almost immediately in your mouth versus our dry powdered liposomal glutathione capsules takes a little bit longer. Now, those ones, the liposomes themselves are coded to survive the stomach acids and then absorb and adhere in the small intestine, where then it's absorbed into your stomach or into right into your small intestine, get right to work into your bloodstream there. Now, that's a little bit different, and it takes a little bit longer than our liquid version that goes right to work in your mouth. It's got to go through some steps of digestion and processing, but provides an immensely beneficial dose of reduced glutathione through a different manner. So that's why we have both versions. The liquid one doesn't taste great. It's a very strong flavor, but that's how you know it's working. If a glutathione product, liquid one, tastes good, sorry to tell you, it's not a really good glutathione product because to get enough glutathione, it's going to be acidic and it's going to be sulfur tasting. It's going to be bad, and we do our best to mask it a little bit without degrading, without causing degradation to the glutathione, the reduced glutathione itself. And so there's lots of reasons why we went through all the steps we did and created plans around making it reduced. And we try to make it as easy as possible for the most amount of people to actually use. So that's why we have our liquid version and our capsule version, as well as Dr. Purser worked with Nayan Patel and Oral Wellness, making Glutaril, a topical spray version of glutathione that also uses a different technology. It puts the glutathione molecule in a sugar ring, cyclodextrin ring, and absorbs topically in a little bit different way, also hugely beneficial. Other than those three glutathione products, we've tested a lot of them, many of them, and none of them are up to par with Forest glutathione or Glutaril. No one has done the steps to protect glutathione through every step of manufacturing. And so, okay, sorry if I'm boring you, but I could talk about the way glutathione should be handled all day long because that's what I do. That's my work. Now, again, what is the real benefit of glutathione? And this is what Dr. Purser has developed over the last couple of years, and maybe why you haven't seen so much from us, because he's been deep in the research and working closely with his patients to try to understand what is really going on. And that's that homocysteine causing an increase in cytokines, causing an increase of inflammation. And now this inflammation is widespread. Dr. Purser was on the call earlier today. He was talking about how every one of his fibromyalgia patients also has homocysteine SNPs, and that every one of his Hashimoto's patients and thyroid patients have homocysteine SNPs. And so when we talk about homocysteine SNPs, we're really talking about the end product of the transsulfuration pathway and the transsulfuration cycle, which is the production of glutathione. If you have SNPs with MTHFR, guess what? That's part of the right before the transsulfuration pathway. It's going to affect your glutathione production. And so that's why every single one of our MTHFR patients over the years have also had huge benefits from glutathione. And now we've done over 25,000 intracellular tests on our patients over the years, and we see the same deficiencies again and again and again. So many have to do with MTHFR. So many have to do with homocysteine, with fibromyalgia. There's so much of the same patterns that we're recognizing in the majority of the population that we deal with. And so these issues may have been very taboo at one point. Where a lot of people talked about trying to go to their doctors and asking them for help with their MTHFR, having troubles maintaining pregnancy with MTHFR, and a lot of doctors just kind of brush them off. They don't know. They don't know any better. The medical system has not taught them these root cause issues. And that's what I love about working with Dr. Purser is he's been on the forefront of this for 2 decades now. And he spent time researching and diving deep into intracellular deficiencies and the genetics behind them of what's causing these. And then what's really great on the call we just had this morning, he was asking an AI what are the top problems that people deal with, and it came up with inflammation, came up with ooh, my light turned off. Came up with the exact issues that we deal with in our practice all day long: anxiety, depression, even long haul COVID symptoms, chronic fatigue, gut issues, SIBO, all those things that we deal with all of our patients every single day is exactly the top searchable items that people are trying to figure out how to get help for, but their doctors just aren't able to or are unwilling to help with them. That's where a lot of functional medicine doctors come into play. And even with Purser Wellness, with Dr. Purser, we don't necessarily call ourselves integrative medicine or uh, or other terms that people use nowadays. But Dr. Purser's always been a root cause doctor. He's always looked at the very base levels of things, of what's actually going on. He started his practice as we know it today, doing hormone replacement therapy. And really, that came after he had his car accident back in 2001, was in a coma, had to relearn how to walk, talk, and everything. Had to start from scratch, and so that's why I say his practice as it is now, he practiced for many years before then as well, but his practice as it is now started from looking at intracellular levels and trying to fix hormone levels, specifically in his self first, because he was dying. He wasn't going to make it long because his pituitary was completely destroyed in that car accident that he had. And so he had to figure out the best ways of how can I replicate what the pituitary is doing. And so that led him down the path of bioidentical natural hormone replacement therapy. And so his practice was exactly that for a solid 10 years, helping patients here in Utah, and some people would come in from out of town to come visit and talk with him. And things just kept developing from there. And then that's where he looked back at his time that he was doing research and remembered the intracellular testing. He never forgot about it, but remembered how significant that was. And then he started making correlations of there's weird things going on with certain gene SNPs correlating with many intracellular deficiencies. And it actually was one of my sisters that he was stumped on trying to help her and just wasn't getting better. And she's like, what's going on? And so he looked into the genes around the symptoms that she was having. Then that's when he came across MTHFR and finally started taking a deep dive into what was going on with MTHFR and how you can actually help it. And we have our whole history of making MTHFR support products, but really it always came back to glutathione and the transsulfuration pathway. As we've continued to develop and understand more and more, you have to fill the holes at every level of these things. That's where we have our MTHFR products that are available right now exactly for that. And so many people love them and rely on them. I take mine every single day because it works, as well as my glutathione. You got to get to this base level and work up from there. And really, I don't mean to sound like an ad, but that's really what we do. That's why we get those CMA intracellular levels, and then we look at the genetics as well when people have them available, make that correlation. You have this gene that you have MTHFR, C677T, you have chronic fatigue and depression because you're tired all the time. Why are you tired all the time? Well, this MTHFR is not allowing you to convert carbohydrates into ATP as efficiently as you should be, as normal. And this is causing all kinds of other downstream effects in your body, causing you to be chronically fatigued all the time, and then most likely have anxiety, depression, all those fun things that come with it, as well as gut issues because nothing's working properly. Well, give your body the nutrients that it needs. Work around the holes in the methylation cycle. Get on hydroxy B12, get on 5-MTHF, and several other of these key nutrients, as well as giving your body glutathione all the time because it needs more so that it can detox and process all these things right. and watch the symptoms disappear. This is what we do every single day with our patients. Get down to the root level, to the very base level that we can, supplement with the versions of nutrients that your body needs and your body's craving. Watch those symptoms disappear. Get better. And I have my own personal experience with this over my many years working here, as well as trying to fix and heal myself, and I can definitely say it works. If you can figure out what's going on, you can flip it. I Dr. Purser diagnosed me with fibromyalgia back when I was a teenager, and I had the pain, the widespread pain and the gut issues that so many of our fibro patients have for years. So much so that I couldn't work out. I would do anything, and I my body wasn't able to heal itself up fast enough. The muscle repair that comes with working out, and I was constantly in pain. I couldn't get around it. Well, we found out what those nutrients are that help copper be processed properly throughout your blood vessels and get them into cells. And wow, it flipped. I was finally able to work out. I was finally able to lose weight. And I'm continuing on my journey, always trying to be better and optimize and become my best version of myself. And so, yeah, these things work. We have to get down to that root. We get into the trenches with our patients because we ourselves are patients as and right alongside dealing with these same deficiencies. And so we deal with anxiety. What is the root cause of anxiety? Well, there's several genes that cause the neurotransmitters that are they're very important for the firings within the neurons in your brain that you're deficient in, that cause you to be deficient in the production of those neurotransmitters. Well, perfect. Let's give you those couple nutrients that you need. Let's give you GABA to help those things function right. Let's give you magnesium and glycine, those everything, and watch it get better. Watch that anxiety disappear. I see a question about glutathione shots or IV. Now, that's a great question. Same thing like I was talking about with all the supplement versions of it. Are the manufacturers handling the glutathione properly? Reduced glutathione. Is it actually reduced glutathione when it goes to be a shot or an IV? Most likely not. Somewhere along the way, it's mixed into water that has oxygen in it, or it just wasn't handled properly in any steps. And so that's another one of our patents that we're pursuing currently is making a truly functional IV version of glutathione. So if it's working for you, great. But I think it can be much, much better. And that's where we'll have our version of it down the road. So be patient. We're getting there. Um, let's see. Your son's B's are high. Trying to figure this out is high. Yeah. Can you schedule individual appointments? Absolutely. That's exactly what we do. Reach out either danpursermd.com or call our office 801-796-7667. Sorry, just go to danpursermd.com. All of our info is there. Just Google us, and you can schedule an appointment with Dr. Purser or with one of us coaches. We're so happy to individually work on these things. That's exactly what we do. And can kids take VARs? Absolutely. A lot of times when children are under 13, Dr. Purser likes to cut doses in half for kids. And so, yeah, with VARS glutathione, same thing. Unless they're dealing with getting over a sickness or if you're trying to detox heavy metals or something, go for the full dose. Yes, absolutely. VARS glutathione, totally safe for kids. It's oral, the best to get your levels up and lay down the stream. It's all good. Um, Taking a look now, just sort of the capsules. Yeah, both versions are the best. Again, it's our experience that our oral VARS glutathione products are the best and the fastest acting, as well as the oral wellness glutaril as topical version of glutathione are the top best three glutathione products in the world. And we head-to-head comparison with other ones, and ours always come out ahead. Even Cetria is a version of glutathione that you may see on a lot of products. We actually used Cetria for a long time in our VARS glutathione, and we did a comparison to Cetria studies where it showed increase in reduced glutathione levels over about 6 months, versus when we used it, we had those same levels in about 60 minutes or less. So that's the real benefit you're getting with VARS glutathione is that it works fast versus again, every other glutathione product has to go through that same process of either being reduced into its functional reduced version or it gets broken down and digested into the amino acids only to be recreated and synthesized into glutathione again down the road. Again, a lot of problems, a lot of resources, energy are used to be able to make that happen. So you're better off using a functional reduced glutathione. That's exactly why we made what we did. Um, One little side note that Dr. Pritzker likes talking about more and more lately. There's a lot of things about vaccines out there, and as we're coming to understand more and more that certain metals and things are in a lot of the vaccines, and uh, kind of a toxin-related issue with vaccines. Now, if you have any of these homocysteine SNPs and your transsulfuration pathway is broken, you're not able to make enough glutathione, your detox capability is severely hindered. Now, I like to look at it this way: when you have a little baby brand new into the world and you give it a bunch of these different things that are full of toxins and other inflammatory molecules and other inflammatory problems, uh, and you have these genes that you're not able to make enough glutathione, then it's gonna cause a huge inflammatory event in that little child. And if you're unable to process all of that inflammation, detox from those toxins, it's going to cause lasting damage. And so Dr. Purser sees a strong correlation, strong connection of major inflammation causing autism, causing all kinds of other issues in children. And so you can work around it. You can work with it. Get them to detox, get those metals out of there, get those toxins out of there, as well as support the methylation cycle. And so exactly what we do all day long. Same thing, get the genes tested, get the intracellular levels tested, get them on the right supplements even from a really young age. Really flip things. It can really change. I'm glad you like our streams. We haven't been as good about streaming often lately. We've just been very busy with all the different things we're working on. Um, but sorry, I got some other weird things scrolling on the bottom there. Let me see if I can show you that. Yeah, we're trying to get back into better routines to offer more streams and just get out here more and more all the time. Yeah, we definitely know that getting on here, talking about the different topics that we're dealing with, really helps a lot of people, and so we're happy to come out here and stream and to put out content. And so Dr. Purser's super busy a lot these days, so he doesn't have as much time or bandwidth to be able to jump on as much as I do. And so, but I'm trying to get him back in the routine. We always have so much fun talking about patient examples and everything else. Excuse me. How often should intracellular testing take place? Great question. Because some people think it's something I want to get done every month or every quarter, and that's not necessary. Once or twice a year, maybe, is what's really critical, even once a year, just because it takes a solid 3 months for intracellular levels to change, as well as your body to just adapt to nutrients and everything. And so, maybe every 6 months, if you can afford it, great. Once a year, absolutely is perfect. Just to continue to optimize, continue to keep working wherever you're at, and because things change, your diet changes, the way you're absorbing nutrients changes, everything changes over time. So once a year is a really good time to do it. Genetic testing, on the other hand, only have to do it once, one and done, which is really great. Make sure to get really good genetic testing and from a reputable company that you trust, and will keep your data private and everything else. And if you're worried about that, Dr. Birch always has great advice. You don't have to use your name. Don't use your date of birth with whatever company you work with. It's fine. It's your results. If you know that's yours, then great. So don't be scared about that. Otherwise, our DRP genetics that we do through MaxGen is a really, really great company and a great panel that has everything that we need to work with you as a patient. So that's why we recommend that one all day long. But if you have other genetic testing you've gotten done, great. Get that raw data, run it through NutraHacker, and we'll see if we can work with you based on that. Otherwise, DRP genetics and our CMA testing, get it all at danepursermd.com. That's what's great for you. If you're wondering about VARS glutathione, where to get that, physiciandesign.com or just search it up on Amazon. We don't have our liquid one back on Amazon yet, but it's available. So get it wherever you can. It's super, super effective. On Amazon, I see a lot of people asking this. Our storefront on there, it's not called Physician Design, but our brand name is PD VARS. So if you see any physician design products selling from any other company than PD VARS, that's not us. So make sure to get it from PD VARS, and that's how you know it's our product hasn't been tampered with or whatever else. Otherwise, Physician Design. We have our own warehouse right here in our office that we ship out from every day. So if you're worried about that, just get it from physiciandesign.com. Um, Hope this has been a little bit helpful and insightful. Uh, I feel like I could just talk all day long about a few couple specific topics. But if you want to come work with me directly, I'm one of our personal wellness coaches now. You can schedule with me, get your testing done. We'll look at your results, get you through it. We'll walk you through the steps that you need to be taking. I'm having a lot of fun working with our patients, and I'm not a doctor, so they're clients to me. But if they're working with Dr. Purser too, they're our patients. But I really have a lot of fun talking with people, and it's so fun to just get out there and see people from all walks of life, and that we're all the same. We're all suffering from whatever deficiencies we are, and we all have the weird genetic disorders, and we're all suffering with fatigue, anxiety, depression. But we can fix it. We can get rid of that inflammation. We can help all those organs function correctly. And yeah, it's just that's what we do. The DRP max should report recommend folic acid isn't the worst form of folate. Great question on folic acid. There's Folic acid is the synthetic version of folate, and there's definitely a lot of buzz, a lot of word out there about how toxic folic acid is. But what they don't say is that for 60% of the population, it may be needed. And so this is one of the things Dr. Purser sees that for some very small percentage of the patients that he works with, folic acid is the only version of folate that will be absorbable, at least for a while. For the vast majority of people, absolutely try any other version of folate, 5-MTHF. Otherwise, folinic acid, I think, is probably the best one if you can find products with it. But we do have a couple here in our office, so reach out to our office if you're looking for that. Otherwise, Seeking Health has some really good methyl-free versions that always have folinic acid. Yeah, so it just depends, like everything. And again, that's why we need to get that testing on you, look at your genes, and see what version is going to be best for you. So if there's a very specific genetic SNP that Dr. Purser sees, then he may recommend folic acid, at least for a while. It all just depends. And so that's where we got to help support things every which way we can while lifting the whole ship is the idea. Great question. I'm not going to stay on for too much longer. So if you have any other questions, please reach out to our office or comment them real quick. Otherwise, yeah, reach to our office, email us, call our office. Our front office staff are fantastic. I love our receptionists. They do such a great job trying to respond to every single question that ever comes in. And they're so kind and so loving the way that they deal with all of our patients. So be kind to them. They're doing the best to respond and get answers back from Dr. Purser as quick as possible as well. But yeah, no, everyone on our side here, personal wellness, we are out here to do good. We are just trying to help as many people as possible. Is this AI? Hey, great question. No, I am real. I'm Jackson Larkin. I'm right here talking to you right now. Yeah, if you have questions, reach out to us. Bright Brain. Yes, I meant to bring that up right now, actually. Bright Brain is our amazing product with PQQ, CoQ10, and a bunch of phospholipids in there. And it has been out of stock for 2 months. And that falls on me. That's my job, keeping our products in stock. And it has been out of stock for like 2 months now. It's coming back. We've had a couple weird issues with our manufacturing of this run specifically. It wasn't up to snuff, so we just had to take our time to do it right. So that product's coming back. Look in the next week or two. I think even this week we'll get a bit of stock in, and so make sure you sign up for the notification on physiciandesign.com of when it comes back in stock. You'll be the first one to know. And if you have it on your subscriptions, I think as soon as it's back, it may just send out your next bottle immediately. So I hope this week or next it should be coming right back. Otherwise, yeah, keep an eye out for Bright Brain. Bright Brain. Okay, well, I'm glad you guys are liking it. Yes, this camera setup is fantastic, isn't it? If you do a consult with me, this is what you see. Great. No, I've had so much fun over the years with Dr. Purser as we've been doing all of our podcasts and everything, and we have all this equipment. It's just kind of been sitting around lately, and so I've been trying to put it to good use, recording my own videos as well as doing our consulting here. What product are you selling? Go to danpursermd.com, look at all of our information on testing and all of our products and everything. There's It's not necessarily that we're trying to sell anything. We're just trying to offer the best solutions for you to optimize your health and wellness. That's what we do at Personal Wellness. Okay. Any other questions, real quick, before I jump off? And thank you, Karen, for your kind comments. Always. Thank you, Janelle. Uh, let's see. Anything? Free. Yeah, definitely. All of our products are as GMO free as possible. That we do every step that we can to avoid that. And I believe all are gluten free. You have to check each product individually, but I do think they're all gluten free. We've definitely tried to make that happen. If one test do you guide us to heal? Um, what we recommend for everyone as a baseline is to get that CMA intracellular testing, just because that gives you the snapshot of where you're at with your intracellular deficiencies, what you're deficient in right now, or at least over these last 90 days. And so the CMA is what we get and recommend for every single one of our patients. Really, before we can do a consult with you, that's the testing that we need so that we can accurately and adequately help you get you on your own personal wellness journey. So definitely CMA, go get that at danpursermd.com. Call our office. Our staff is super helpful to walk you through the whole purchasing process and how to get it drawn and do all that. So, yep. Any other questions? Feel free to reach out to our staff, and I'll try to jump on every now and again to do some more of these lives. I think it's helpful. I'm glad your first CMA was a good success for you. It was on sale during Black Friday. We actually rarely ever do sales, but reach out to our office and we'll get you taken care of. When taking glutathione, is it possible to lie energy? Is that from too many toxins dumping? Uh, Losing energy while you're first taking glutathione absolutely is a possibility when you're detoxing. A lot of people don't realize if you go through a detox process quickly when you first start glutathione, you're detoxing. You're going to get all the symptoms of detoxing. So it may be a little rough for a little while. Bear through it. You got this. Give it a solid week, and then watch it just get even better. If you have never been able to detox things properly, your body's got to work through a lot. It's got to really push through a lot of different things to get it to where it needs to be. So, yeah, just hang with it. A lot of times, for a lot of people, they get the clearing of brain fog is one of the first things that they feel. So, yeah, just hang with it. Take that glutathione, keep on going with it. Okay, everyone. I've tried to say goodbye multiple times now. This time for real. Watch out for more of our content. Look out for that video coming with me and Dr. Purser. We recorded a Zoom call and we talked about a lot of really. So watch for that in the next couple of days as well. And it's a great update of what's to come this year. Dr. Purser has been writing multiple books, and he can't wait to get them out to everyone. So